Today we're making one of my favorite soups and one of the first soups I've ever made, and that's Portuguese soup. I love the ingredients. You have sausage, beans, kale, bone broth. How can you go wrong? Totally simple recipe. We got a hot pot. I have some oil. Now the thing is, I'm not at your house. I have no idea if you're making this for 2, 4, or 10. All you want to do is to make the pan shine. So I have some onions. That's going to go in. I just want to get these coated in the oil until they become a little bit translucent. We're talking 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then I'll add some garlic. Now I just want to talk quickly about time. A lot of your recipes will say 3-minute saute, 5-minute saute. Think of this as a technique. Again, I know how hot my pan is. It's 288 degrees. But some of us have low, medium, high, not a lot of, bandwidth on the old gas. So you're looking for translucency. This has been going about 2 minutes and I'm almost there. In your kitchen, it might be 4 or 5. So again, it's all about the technique. So these are ready to go. I have some garlic. When it comes to cooking garlic, the rule I like to use is when you can smell it, you're good. Don't burn your garlic. Once it hits this hot pan, move it around. And when you begin to smell it, like right now, we're good to go. So I have my alcohol and some simple sherry. If this was bourbon or wine, you would add it now. It's called deglazing. So all that stuff in the bottom of the pan, we are deglazing and getting rid of it. Also the alcohol content. When you put it in the pan or a saute pan, it burns off the alcohol and you're left with really nice flavor. Sherry, really nice smell, very fragrant. This is a dry sherry. So now we're good to go to add our stock. You could add anything you like. Homemade, store-bought, broth. This is bone broth. I like what it does to you and how it makes you feel. So this is the base of our soup. So now I'm gonna add some more flavorings. I have some smoked paprika, a little bit of lemon zest. Go ahead and mix this in. And now we're gonna add our potatoes. The thing about potatoes, you could add any kind of potato you like. I like the Dutch baby potatoes, or if you want to use a Yukon potato, the most important thing about the potato is the type of potato. You have new potatoes and you have russet potatoes. New potatoes keep their shape when you cook them. So that's why I'm using these. Also, new potatoes have less starch. So it's gonna keep its shape. Soup's not gonna get thick. It's still gonna be a broth-based soup, and it's not gonna disintegrate. So that's why you wanna use new potatoes. And I just like the flavor of the Dutch babies. They're kind of yellow, nice buttery taste when you cook them. So I'm gonna let these go. As far as how long this soup takes to make, once the potatoes are soft, I could add the rest of my ingredients. 5 minutes after that, we're having soup. It's been about 20 minutes and the potatoes are soft or close to it. Some you can see their skin is peeling off. If you want to peel the skin off, you totally can. I like to keep it. I'm going to add my linguica. Just gives it really nice flavor. Mix this around. Have some white beans. This goes in. Give it a stir. I still have not added salt and pepper, so I'm going to give it a little bit of salt. I like pepper. And we're just trying to warm up the sausage, the beans. Now let's talk kale. Now the thing about kale, depending on which one you use, if you use the fresh kale with the stalk, that's gonna take longer to cook. So if that was the case, you would add the kale with the potatoes. This is baby kale. It's gonna cook really fast, it's tender, it's not as rough. There's also Tuscan kale out there. Trader Joe's has a nice brand of it. That's a little purplish and green. That would take almost the same time as the other kale as well. So baby kale, I like to use this because it cooks quick, it gives us nice color, and it's not as chewy. And I don't have to worry about the stem and taking out the stem, so it's just faster. This goes in. And as soon as this kale is wilted to the texture that I like, I'm good to go. I still have a little bit of bite, or I want a little bit of bite in my kale. Some people don't like that. They like it soft, so you can cook it a little bit longer. But I mean, just the color of that green, beautiful. The thing about the regular kale, since it cooks so long, it kind of grays out. But this is just like a nice, vibrant green. If you like squint your eyes, it could be spinach, but way better for you. Check the salt. Really taste the kale. I like it. A little bit more salt. Let's talk bone broth. When you do bone broth, there's no salt added. So you're probably gonna have to add a lot of salt. Some of you guys are probably freaking out by the amount of salt that I used. But if you're using like a nice chicken stock base, that there's a bunch of good ones out there, those have sodium in them. So you're not gonna have to use as much salt. That's good. A bit more pepper. The kale's right where I want it. It's tender, has great color. I'm gonna add just a little bit of cream. Do I have to add it? No. But I just like the texture, mouthfeel, the amount of fat. Changes the color a little bit. It's just a nice addition to the soup. You're gonna taste a little bit more fat on the tongue, which will be a little more pleasant because of the sherry and the spicy linguica. But it just gives it just a depth of flavor, and it just changes the color of the soup. I mean, the green pops a little more, linguica pops a little bit more. It's a nice, easy soup. It's really quick and a whole lot of flavor. It's the best part about the soup, flavor.